Hola, I am Marcela, and on this video I'm gonna tell you about the things I wish I knew before going to La Ciudad de México, Mexico City. And also, you're gonna learn some Spanish phrases and words that are gonna be useful for your trip. Let's start. Now, don't exchange currency at the exchange office. Most times you get a better rate on the ATM, el cajero automático. You can check and compare banks like Banamex, Santander, Scotiabank, and see which one will give you the better rate. Now, don't go to museums on Sundays. Actually, this recommendation is because locals and Mexican residents can enter the museums for free on Sundays, so they get crowded, right? And the lines are long. Las filas son largas. So if you're going to el Museo de Antropología or el Castillo de Chapultepec or any one of these fantastic places that are totally worth a visit, by the way, maybe you can choose another day. But don't choose Mondays either, because on Mondays, most museums are closed. Don't take the metro during rush hour. So, the subway in Mexico City is actually a pretty good way to move around because, the city is huge and it gets a lot of traffic. Sometimes it is faster to go by metro. It is more or less reliable and it is affordable. It connects the city pretty well. But in rush hour, in rush hour, it gets very crowded. Hay mucha gente. Mucha gente. Also, the subway has one cart that is exclusive for women and children, para mujeres y niños. Don't book your accommodation without knowing the area. The area you choose is totally gonna change your experience. If you stay in the historic center, el Centro histórico, you're gonna be pretty close to a lot of museums. This is where the main square is, el Zócalo, and the cathedral there is fantastic, la catedral, and then you have a lot of museums around there, like el Museo de Bellas Artes. All this is walking distance. You also have el Templo Mayor, which are some archaeological ruins right downtown. You have La Torre Latinoamericana, from where you can see the whole city. You have the Alameda Central, which is this nice park where people gather to dance, to play, to have fun. And there are at least 2 subway stations in the area, which makes it easier to move around. But this area is not for everyone because it is very busy, hay mucha gente, it is noisy, hay ruido, because there are bars and a lot of things happening there. So stay there if you like the action. Another place that is top choice for tourists would be La Colonia Condesa. This is a very walking friendly neighborhood. It is more green. It has parks like el Parque México, el Parque España, or it has this very nice avenue to walk around like Avenida Amsterdam that has lots of trees. It is pleasant. So a lot of people prefer to stay there than to stay in el Centro histórico. Now, next to Condesa, there is the Colonia Roma. This is also walking friendly. It has bars, restaurants, bares, restaurantes, and nice markets like El Mercado Medellín. Another neighborhood that is very liked would be Polanco. So Polanco is a bit fancier, a bit more chic. It is therefore more expensive, es más caro, but it's also a pleasant neighborhood. It is also well located, like it's near a big park called Parque de Chapultepec that has the castle, the museum, it has a zoo, restaurants, it has a lake where you can rent a boat, like it's very fun park. Es un parque muy divertido. Another area that I like a lot, que me gusta mucho, is Coyoacán. So, Coyoacán is mostly known for the Frida Kahlo Museum, but it has a lot of charm on it. So it has a very nice square full of local culture that is called Plaza Hidalgo. On top of that, there is the Parque Frida Kahlo. There is a small but very cute park. There are some nice parks in the area. It has the market, El Mercado de Coyoacán, where you can get souvenirs, or you can get fruits and vegetables, or you can eat in one of the restaurants. It is a pretty nice colonia, but it is not as central. So if you choose this neighborhood, it's gonna be lovely, but you need to commute more if you're gonna be going to places all the time. Don't drink tap water. So the water in Mexico City, unfortunately, is not that reliable. Everyone, locals and tourists, they need to buy the water, they need to filter the water because el agua no es potable. It is not drinkable. To buy a bottle of water, you say, una botella de agua, por favor. Una botella de agua. Don't go out without some cash. You're gonna start walking, you're gonna run into these amazing markets. You know, you wanna get a souvenir, or you wanna buy some street food, or whatever you wanna do. You're gonna need some efectivo. So before you buy something, you can ask, ¿aceptan tarjetas? Do you take cards? O solo efectivo, only cash. Don't assume a lot of people speak English. This is important. In the big hotels, yes, the receptionist is gonna speak English to you, very likely. In touristic places too, right? Like if you go to the pyramids, you're gonna find some guides that speak English. But in general, around the city, people won't speak English. So if you wanna ask if the person speaks English, you can say, ¿habla inglés? That's, do you speak English? Or you can say, I don't speak Spanish. No hablo español. Actually, if you want to improve your Spanish, you should subscribe to this channel, because this channel is about Spanish language, culture, and travel. So you're gonna learn a lot. Now, don't take any random taxis on the street. Well, this is a recommendation, you know, like in any other big city in the world, you need to be street smart. So it's better to take an authorized taxi, un taxi autorizado. These ones are very easy to identify at the airport and el aeropuerto. But once on the street, a lot of people will just get an Uber or use another app to get transportation. Don't forget your sunscreen. El protector solar es muy importante. You know, Mexico City is actually pretty high altitude. The sun is strong, and especially if you go to places like the pyramids, right? There's hardly any shade there. So don't forget that. And also, to protect yourself better, you can get a hat, un sombrero. Now the last and most important advice of all. Don't forget to have a blast. Oh yeah. Mexico City is super fun. Es muy divertida. You will find delicious food, comida deliciosa. People are very friendly. La gente es muy amable. It has lots of things to do. Muchas cosas para hacer. The museums are fantastic. Los museos son fantásticos. So like in any other city, just use your common sense. Plan ahead, because it needs some planning. But I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a blast. Te vas a divertir mucho. So, see you in the next video. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Chao.